Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet?
I love people as I meet them one by one. People are just wonderful as individuals. You see the whole...
My great aspiration, my greatest ambition is to be so good. Now, in that way, I'm tiresome, as I suppose, to live with, because I want to be a fantastic human being.
I am the greatest.
We're not disputing that, Cassius, but how does Sonny Liston feel about it?
He can't feel but one way, and let's take everything I say and like it. Because February the 25th, I'm going to take back my job. I'm the champ. He's no champ. He's a tramp.
When you see men fall, don't laugh. Learn. Learn. Because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close my ancestors speak, they tell me they're tired of them praying on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep, longing to sing until I surpass peak, until they think we are equal. Please, all I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their palms would bleed, begging that generations remember our story.
What's good, people? Peace, blessings, glory, praise, and honor to the Most High. Happy Monday. I hope all is well. I hope you have started your day off beautifully. We got some stuff to talk about here this morning. Big shout outs to my writers, my poets, content creators, producers. You know the routine. I gotta give my flowers out. This is not okay. Not okay at all. I got to take this stuff with a grain of salt. It all depends on how you look at social media and what you use it for. I personally use it to highlight the positives and negatives, while also giving a personal insight on what I see that is the problem. Also, by giving praise to the one who is responsible for my existence in the first place. With all of the death and all of the traumas and the hierarchy arguments and the back and forths, we tend to forget that we're blessed, that there's a level of urgency that is in our presence that we ignore. There's a lack of concern and consideration for the seconds that tick and tock on this timeline of life that we so readily dismiss. A mother is gunned down and killed by her own child at the tender age of 16 years old. We need to know why, how much of this is to blame on the parent, what preventative actions we can take to minimize future fatalities. Why is there not enough conversations about these things, and why don't people seem to show any sense of care when it comes to crimes of these nature? See, everybody's talking about you know who. No one's talking about the children, the disrespect, the lack of parenting, the lack of honor in the household, the lack of spiritual guidance. I have a clip that I'm going to play here in a second. I'm going to bring it up on the big screen. I meant to cover this story last week, didn't get around to it. So many things kept on popping up. Like you scroll your timeline all day, the stories are endless, crimes are endless. So I want to address a couple of things along the way while we dissect this particular video. And this is going to be a very, very interesting week. This young lady that you're looking at right here on the screen is the woman who lost her life at the hands of her own 16-year-old daughter. Let's jump into the video.
Or could have done something like this, and that's the question police and neighbors want answered to. Galveston police descending on Avenue Q near 52nd Street last night after neighbors heard multiple gunshots. Investigators say a 34-year-old woman identified as Tia Moya Moore was found shot at a home. She was taken to the hospital where she died. According to police, witnesses told them the suspect was Moore's 16-year-old daughter. Have you noticed any previous issues at the home?
No.
That's what makes the shooting all the more surprising for neighbor Graciela Molina, who lives across the street. She says she was checking her mail last night when she heard yelling.
She was screaming. She was screaming. And I hear boom, 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 boom. Like, I hear 5.
Bullet holes visible in the walls of the home. Mother of the woman who died told me, and other nearby houses. This neighbor says he was startled by the gunfire.
Yes, I was in the kitchen and I hear the shots and they come out and then all the police cars.
Galveston police say they were told the 16-year-old ran from the home after the shooting, but as they were processing the scene, she came back and was taken into custody.
This area is pretty calm. It's not really that. This street is kind of busy, but it's still calm here.
Home and other.
I don't even know where to begin. At 16 years old, how do you have so much anger, unregulated emotion, such uncontrolled hatred? At that age, how do you become so removed from reality to the point that you will pull the trigger on your own mother, the authority figure, the one who brought you into this world, that fed you, that burped you, washed you. "2025 has been an extremely ugly year, a year of revelation and reveal." And it says in the Bible that children will rebel against parents. They won't have control. They're going to completely run amok in the street, shooting, killing, assaulting their own parents. Grades are going to decline. Education is going to decline. You got to understand prophecy. And I'm not here to quote. I'm not here to tell you that the rapture is tomorrow, because I know it isn't. But if it was, what if it was? What if this was the end of it? What if God decided that he's seen enough? He's heard all he needs to hear. The complaining, why you let them die, why you make them rich, why all the good guys this and why all the bad guys this, the slaughtering, the molestation, the bigotry, the why? What if the rapture was tomorrow? What if it was today? Most of our hearts aren't even in the right place, nor are our spiritual houses nowhere near it. At 13 years old, you should not, I repeat, you should not be raising your hand or your voice at an adult. You know why this is the way it is right now? Because the enemy has made his way in the camp. Whole time I thought I was talking. I didn't even realize my mic was off. I probably didn't even hear the video. Shit. My apologies. Hold on a second. Y'all could have warned the brother, you know what I'm saying? Quick, hey, Mike is on, you're muted. Shit. Anybody who does watch this back, you're gonna have to skip through the last 14 minutes of this shit. Matter of fact, this is what, hold on. This is what I'm gonna do. Oh, I was good. So I thought my mic wasn't recording, or I thought my shit was off. All right, I'm straight there. All right, appreciate that. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't talking to myself, because if I go and play this back and I'm like speaking and for 14 minutes is mute, then yeah, that's crazy as hell. The only thing that I want to say is the enemy has entered the camp. Satan has made his way in the households of adults, of men and women. Nobody's family. Nobody respects authority. Nobody respects the hierarchy. God, man, woman, child. That's not what we have. It is unfortunate because all of these arguments about being independent from this and independent from that, but your independence is a part of the recipe that causes a person to stray and straddle the fence and seek love and acceptance and attention outside. Your independence comes off like it's independence, but it's more or less built on ego, pride. You want independence for the wrong reasons. Why is a 16-year-old in possession of a firearm? How does that work? This is one of the problems that I often run into with social media. Parents want to be friends with their kids. And everything is about TikTok and doing these trendy dances and going viral. And y'all don't want to beat your kids. You don't want to hold them accountable. You don't want to punish them. You kind of just let them do whatever the hell they want, walk all over you, talk to you however they want. They don't have to go to school. They don't have to have a curfew. They can watch whatever they want. They can consume whatever they want. And then when you see that your lack of activity or your lack of presence within their development is showing through their character, then you want to blame the world and everybody else for when they turn back and bite you in the ass for how they ended up. At 16 years old, you should be playing with Barbie still, watching the Disney Channel and shit, doing homework, thinking about the prom and just kid shit. You're not supposed to be worried about guns and gangs and trying to be older than what you are. A lot of these kids out here think they are fucking adults. Y'all think y'all can smoke like adults, drink like adults, club and party like adults. They you can cuss like adults. You think you be disrespectful. What did this woman do or didn't do? What happened in this house that will make a child want to crash out on her own biological mom? That ain't nothing but sin. 100%. Just other factors. But think about how certain things influence us. You see something on TV, like You see your favorite pair of shoes just came out, or there's a concert that's about to be in your city, or there's a movie trailer that was just fire. You say, you know what? I need tickets. Or maybe it's a commercial highlighting something that triggers your emotions, and you want to argue, you want to debate over it. Everything that we watch and consume, it has more power than you think it do. Only you can give authority to the suggestions that is outsourced through the programming that is displayed on these devices: television, radio, CDs, iPhones, Androids. Whatever image pops up has the power. If you are weak in spirit, weak-minded, it has the power to alter your personality. That's why it's so important for parents, for friends and family, for the community and the tribe to work together to keep out the dangers that lurk constantly to devour the souls of our people. You have to be on constant watch for danger. Danger doesn't mean that it's going to be a wolf. Danger doesn't mean that it's going to be a poltergeist. It doesn't mean that it's going to be a guy who looks normal, but he's really a monster. It can come in all shapes and sizes. Danger can come in a whisper. Danger can come in text. It can come in visuals. It can come in subliminals. Like, you just don't know. You got to be very cognitive of what you are putting yourself involved in. Maybe that's the wrong word. You got to be very mindful of the shit that you're looking at and listening to, and who. This woman and her family allowed her daughter to be consumed by a propaganda that was lightly woven with mischievous and demonic energy. When you leave from here, and let's say you go watch a movie or a sports event, whatever it is your heart desires to. Let's say you go do that. It just seems all fun and innocent. There's nothing eerie or off about it. That's the whole idea. To sneak the wickedness within the content so that you don't hear it right away, but you absorb it because you're overly stimulated by the fact that you enjoy what you're watching. But as you're enjoying this thing, there's something within it that is also teaching you how to reshape and address the context of what you are ultimately trying to desire by rationalizing it. I know it don't really make sense. It makes sense in my head. I've seen this shit play out too many times. Everybody want to be Scarface, Sexy Red. Everybody wants to be a millionaire. And they will throw you under the bus for it. The point that I'm getting at is the parents failed that little girl. They didn't protect her from the real monsters. And I ain't speaking ill on the dead. Rest in peace. But we gotta call it for what it is. You didn't protect her from the true villains. Look around you. There's a lot of them. Seen and unforeseen. There's a lot of them. And now this young lady's life is over. She can't get her mom back. You cannot replace a parent. I don't give a fuck how many times you try to supplement them for somebody else. It's not happening. Like condolences to her family. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what y'all doing out here these days. I don't think every parent in the world is moving reckless like this, but yeah, this ain't it. I'm gonna give a shout out to everybody who tapped in. We'll be back later on tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I'm going back into the laboratory and get some more recording done. Y'all be easy.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close I, my ancestors speak, they tell me they're tired of them praying on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep, longing to sing until I surpass peak, until they think we are equal. Please.